The Apple Watch Series 8 is one of three latest Apple Watches from Apple. But the Series 8 in particular comes loaded with a variety of new features and improvements from the older previous models. And as for somebody who literally owns every single generation Apple Watch, I'm going to go ahead and share with you the improvements and some things to definitely adjust to really use this device to its full potential. So I'll be sharing the hidden features and giving you some tips and tricks that I developed of my own throughout the years. Let's go ahead and get started. So first thing first, I want to actually go ahead and talk about the less used app, and that is the ECG app, which in short terms basically will allow you to take electronic cardiogram, ECG for short, all off your wrist, as it's able to actually detect any atrial fibrillation and provide classification of sinus rhythm, or AFib for short. And from my experience, if you get this notification on your Apple Watch, if the heart rate sensor ever detects anything out of the ordinary and you start seeing this a lot, I highly recommend taking an ECG because you can actually save this file as a PDF and you can actually show it to your health professional, like your doctor. So if you see a lot of these notifications, take an ECG and definitely do call and schedule a doctor appointment. Both the heart rate sensor and the ECG app can easily work together to easily diagnose any issues or health complications you may start developing, so it's best to prevent it before things get worse. And then as for fall detection, for quite some time now, older Apple Watches had the fall detection capabilities, but with the new sensors found in the Series 8 as well as the Apple Watch Ultra, even the SE2, it can do a lot more and can give you a more accurate reading. And for somebody who always had this fall detection enabled, if you're concerned about this toggling any false alarm accidentally, it's unlikely. Throughout the years of having fall detection enabled, I only toggle this like 2 or 3 times a year. And even if you falsely toggle this, it's super noticeable that you toggled it, as the Apple Watch will actually play a loud sound even though your device is on mute, and will also vibrate your wrist pretty hard, so you know something's up, so you can actually slide and cancel the fall detection. So because of that, I do advise everybody to at least enable this feature for the peace of mind, because when a situation does happen, the Apple Watch will get a hold of emergency dispatchers as well as your emergency contacts and will actually share them your exact location when the incident happens, so you can seek emergency help as soon as possible. So by default, this is disabled unless you're over a certain age, I believe 50 or 55. I have the correct number on the screen. So if you wish to enable this, it's easier to enable this on the actual Apple Watch app on your iPhone and scroll down to Emergency SOS. And then here where it says fall detection is where you actually can go in and enable it. You can either have it always on or only during workouts. I prefer only having it on all the time. But right above here is where you can actually find the crash detection. This is where you can actually go ahead and make sure it is indeed enabled, and from the research I have gathered, it's pretty accurate. So the new iPhone 14s or newer, as well as the SE2 and the Apple Watch Ultra, all have this new sensor which allows them to actually now detect crash detection. So similar concept like the fall detection to get a hold of emergency dispatchers and your emergency contacts. If you'd like to edit your emergency contacts on the SOS page, if you scroll down, you can edit your emergency contacts right here in the health app. It will automatically walk you through everything. Really easy. So this is where you can go in, edit this stuff. Now the Series 8 also is able to use the noise app, which can actually detect loud noises around you and will send you a notification if it notices that you've been exposed to loud decibel levels for a long duration, which is known to actually cause hearing problems. So if you wish to go ahead and set this up, you can always just go into the Apple Watch app on your iPhone, scroll down to noise, and you can enable environment sound measurement, and down here you can actually edit threshold. So mine, by default, I have it at 90 decibels, which will send me a notification if I've been exposed to 90 decibels for 30 minutes, and you get the idea as soon as you look at the other ones. But then if you'd like to understand more about the different levels compares to, you can also go on the Apple Watch, launch the noise app. Here you can actually monitor the decibel levels, but when you tap to learn more, it'll give you examples of what certain decibel levels are equivalent to. Now the new Breathe app also got some improvements here. What's a Breathe app? Basically allows you to help relax and reduce stress throughout the day, leading you through a series of deep breathe exercises. And it's able to accomplish all this thanks to the new improved hardware inside. But from my understanding, some users prefer to have this feature disabled because the notifications can be annoying. So if you'd like to turn this off, you can always just go on your main app on your iPhone and just go down to the Mindfulness app. And here's where you can actually go ahead and turn off the notification entirely. Or you can modify it to your own personal preference for start day and end the day. But if you don't want it, just turn off notifications. Now, sleep tracking has been a feature that older Apple Watches always had. Just with the Series 8, it can now monitor your body temperature, as both the Series 8 and the Apple Watch Ultra now have new body temperature reading sensor. So with sleep tracking enabled, it will allow you to gather more data to see how long you actually slept and the quality of sleep you are experiencing. So based off the feedback that the Apple Watch app will be showing you, you can actually find some creative ways to experience better quality of sleep. But now, for the fitness side of things, the activity rings, you can actually share this with friends or family. A lot of people don't know about this, but you can actually compete with friends and family using the activity rings on your Apple Watch. I personally have a few friends in my fitness app, and basically this allows us to see who's actually burning the calorie that they set to be their calorie goal and how far they are throughout the day. And you can also compete as well, as you could do these like weekly challenges, and you could actually win awards with one another. But this also allows you to actually see distance they have traveled walking wise, as well as how many steps they have throughout the day. They can send each other messages. You'll be notified as soon as somebody completes a certain workout or achieves a activity ring. So it's a really great way to be motivated and compete with somebody you really want to compete with. And to send invites, just open up the fitness app and just go and share and tap the little plus icon right here, and you can add people from here. Now, the Series 8, even the Ultra, but primarily the Series 8, everybody knows that it does have always on. And basically what the always on display allows you to do is basically always be able to view your Apple Watch display, no matter the angle, right off your wrist, instead of you having to raise your wrist or having to tap on the display. But with the Series 8, the always on display is actually brighter than previous generation models. So that was a new improvement that Apple silently did for the Series 8. Now, so long as you have the cellular version Apple Watch up to Series 8, this also is compatible to be used for family setup. And what family setup allows you to do is basically allows you to actually monitor your kid at school, and they have the capability to get a hold of you, text you, or call you. And you as the legal guardian can also track your child using GPS and monitor their activity levels as well. So this gives your kid all that power without you having to provide them their own individual phone, because it's paired to the legal guardian phone. So technically you have two Apple Watches paired at once on one iPhone, and you can give the Apple Watch to your child and they can go in school and you can monitor them and they can get a hold of you in case of emergency or whatever said reason. Now, aside from just being a really good smartwatch, this can also control some of your smart home devices. Primarily Apple TV is what I like to use, is because I actually have the full controller right here on my wrist. So if I misplace my Apple TV remote and I'm too lazy to find my iPhone, I can always just control it with the remote app off my wrist, or just go to the Now Playing app. Sometimes it'll actually synchronize and give you quicker access to control your Apple TV right here on your wrist. Then with the Series 8, it does also receive a new, more faster processor, as well as improved battery life, making it more efficient and last a lot longer. I have noticed that the Series 8, the SE, both been able to average a better battery life than the older Apple Watch, especially when you enable the new low power mode. This allows the Apple Watch to actually be able to achieve up to 30 hours under a single charge. So if you're trying to maximize the most battery out of your Apple Watch as much as possible, just enable low power mode and you're able to squeeze out a little more juice, but still be able to have access to your smartwatch as well as receive your notifications. It's just a heart rate sensor, and notifications will just come in your wrist slower because it's not going to be gathering as much data as repetitively compared to when it's on its regular mode. It tells you all this information right here on the screen. But if you actually turn off your Apple Watch completely, if you tap the digital crown, this will actually pop up the time. So even while the Apple Watch is turned off, you can still technically use it as a regular standard watch. So aside from being able to receive phone calls, send messages, or even use Siri hands-free, the Series 8 is an extraordinarily convenient machine to use throughout your entire day to really help make your daily life easier. So those are the hidden features I've seen a lot of people miss or just forget about over time of the things that the Series 8 can do. So in a sense, this can actually be a reason why you may want to consider the Series 8 video over maybe like an SE2 or the Apple Watch Ultra. Why it's actually a good value when it's in the middle. Aside from that, there you guys have it. If you wish to watch more, check out this video over here where I go through some of my favorite accessories that I have on my Series 8. Then that video over there, that's just a video YouTube's recommending specifically for you. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.